What if I told you the undisputed king of toys, the place where you could be a Toys R Us kid, voluntarily handed the keys to the online kingdom to his future executioner? What if the most beloved retail giant of the generation made a single catastrophic deal that effectively trained its biggest rival and sealed its own fate? This is the story of the partnership between Toys R Us and Amazon and how one company lost its future for a short term fix. I'm Modi J. This is The Mo You Know, and this is my new series, What If I Told You, where I break down different stories from financial to criminal to just everyday stories, and you get a look into things you've never heard about. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. Let's jump into how Amazon took down Toys R Us. By the late 1990s, Toys R Us was the dominant force in the toy market, but the internet was coming, and they were caught completely flat-footed. Their own attempt at an e-commerce store in 1999 was a disaster. They failed to ship thousands of Christmas orders on time, earning them a huge fine and worse, a devastating blow to their brand trust. They had the inventory, the brand, and the scale, but they couldn't figure out the .com part. They desperately needed a lifeline to sell online. In the year 2000, Amazon was still primarily known for selling books and CDs. They were a scrappy upstart looking to prove they could sell anything. Toys R Us, blinded by their own crisis and Amazon's technical proficiency, saw an easy solution. They signed a 10-year exclusive partnership worth a reported $50 million a year plus a percentage of the sales. And Amazon had officially taken the key from Toys R Us. Many would call this the Trojan horse, and the terms of the deals were very shocking in hindsight. Toys R Us essentially outsourced its entire online operation. ToysRUs.com simply redirected visitors to a Toys R Us branded store on Amazon's website. In exchange, Toys R Us would be the exclusive seller of toys and baby products on Amazon. For Toys R Us, this was meant to have immediate online success without the risk or cost of building their own platform. But for Amazon, it was a masterclass in infiltration, and that's why it was the Trojan horse. What did Amazon gain out of all of this? Well, in plain words, everything. For years, Toys R Us provided the inventory, the product selection, and most importantly, unfiltered high value data. Amazon was able to learn every detail about selling toys, which toys were popular, how to manage logistics for a major retail category, and what price points worked. They learned these critical lessons on someone else's dime, transforming themselves from a bookstore into a full service retailer using Toys R Us, the brand, as their training wheels. And that's where the transition between Amazon selling books and CDs started, with Amazon allowing multiple people to sell different products on their website. The deal between Toys R Us and Amazon was supposed to be exclusive, but Amazon's ambition grew faster than the contract was written. By 2003, 3 years after the deal had started, Amazon, having learned everything it needed, started allowing third-party sellers and even major retailers to list toys and baby products on its site. These competitors often offered wider variety and lower prices, directly undercutting the very partner that it had helped Amazon grow, which is Toys R Us. The exclusivity was dead. The partnership was now a battleground between the two retail giants. Within only 4 years of the contract between Toys R Us and Amazon, Toys R Us sued Amazon in 2004 in a breach of contract, and they eventually won the case in 2006. The court affirmed that Amazon had violated the terms, and Toys R Us was awarded a settlement of $51 million. But here's the devastating truth. The legal victory was a business defeat. They had lost 6 vital years, the most formative years of the e-commerce boom, to develop their own platform. The money won in court could not buy back the time, the data, and the loss of the customer relationship. While Amazon, on the other hand, collected all the data, kept their e-commerce, and already had different vendors, different suppliers putting product on their website. And billion-dollar companies don't become billion-dollar companies unless they screw over somebody in the process of making it to the top. When Toys R Us finally launched an independent e-commerce site in 2006, it was too late. Amazon had already cemented its dominance. Compounding their woes, the company was crushed under billions of dollars in debt from a leveraged buyout in 2005. The debt starved the company of capital needed to innovate its stores, improve the in-person customer experience, and properly build out a competitive online presence. They were fighting the digital war with paper money. The combination of the initial fatal deal with Amazon, the crippling debt, the relentlessness competition from big box stores like Walmart and Target proved insurmountable. Toys R Us, once the pinnacle of toy retail, filed for bankruptcy in 2017 and closed its doors across the United States in 2018. It was a failure of vision and a failure of ownership. They traded their most vital asset, their online future, for a temporary respite, only to watch their partner weaponize that information and use it to conquer the very market they once ruled. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. Now, for all of those that miss the magical Toys R Us kids feeling, there's a glimmer of hope. The brand is attempting to come back. As of the end of 2025, the company operates a handful of permanent flagship stores, including locations like the American Dream Mall and the Mall of America. But their main footprint comes through partnerships. They have shop-in stores in over 400 Macy's nationwide and are aggressively opening new flagships, seasonal holiday shops, with the plans of at least 30 new locations for the current holiday season. The giraffe is back, but the company is a shadow of its former $13 billion self, with the constant reminder of how one bad partnership can lead to a tragic fall. I'm Modai J. This is The Mo You Know. Let me know what you think about Toys R Us. What memories do you have, and how do you believe Amazon could have fixed the whole situation and continued a partnership with Toys R Us that was beneficial for both? Because Amazon, the biggest company ever, I don't think they wanted that partnership to work. Let me know what you think. I'm Modai J. This is The Mo You Know. I will be doing at least one weekly what if video. So if you have any recommendations, you can go ahead and drop that down in the comments. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 2,000 subscribers on this channel by the end of the year. Thanks for watching. I'm out.